So Arsenal Football Club putting their fans on edge once again. Imagine doing a comeback of this nature and not being able to celebrate because you know that you've thrown the game away. So Arsenal are trying to make nonsense of your theory, which held almost throughout the season. 3 games in and not a single win.
Oh, football isn't played on a spreadsheet, so they showed that once again. Look, there were a few players I want to point who let Arsenal down. I think the 2 players for me who especially let them down because of their seniority and their experience were Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. I think Zinchenko had a few moments at the back he could have done better. I think the third goal especially, I'll think he could have done better on the corner. I think Gabriel Jesus missed a lot of chances. It wasn't shown in the highlights, but there's an account on Twitter. They measure XG called XG Philosophy. According to XG Philosophy, Gabriel Jesus had an XG of 1.4. I know none of you didn't see him in any of their goals, so clearly he didn't take any of his chances. That's abysmal. Then you have to talk about Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale has had a fairly good season, but I think the mistake he made and how early he made the mistake let the team down. I think it set the tone for the rest of the game. And the last player is Thomas Partey. I think Thomas Partey had a very difficult game. I think he's had 2 very difficult games. And when you are the number 6 of the team and you don't play well, it's very difficult for everyone else to play well. It's the type of position when you have a great game, no one notices because it means that everybody has had the freedom to do well and get the results. But when you don't play well, it's fairly obvious. And I think because he's also another experienced player, it was really telling. I think he had a few. I think he was completely outplayed by Romeo Lavia, who's about 10 years his junior. It wasn't a good, it was.
Romeo Lavia is a pretty decent player.
He's a very good, but when you're a teenager and you are playing a man off the park, it's even more stark when you put it that way. Romeo Lavia, Southampton are going down. Let's not get it wrong. I think what this game showed me was they are going down because if you take a 3-1 lead and you can't hold on to it, no matter how good Arsenal are, you are probably not staying in the Premier League. And by the same token, the fact that Arsenal put themselves in that situation makes me think it is very difficult for them to win the league. I will maintain they have it in their hands because if they win every game, they will win the league. They still have City to play on Wednesday. So there's still ample opportunity to win the league. But if they are playing like this, considering 3 goals to Southampton, this is a Southampton team that had not won at the Emirates since 1987. And at Arsenal, Highbury and the Emirates combined since 1987. And they nearly got that win. When I see them playing like this against a team that we can all see is doomed to relegation, I wonder how they approach the Man City game. It makes it very difficult for me.
Just talk to me quickly about Saliba and how much of an effect his absence has had on this defense. Because Arsenal used to be pretty decent at the back. They were not conceding a lot of goals. All of a sudden, 3 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals. How much has his absence affected how and what they do at the back?
I think it's 2 things. Their high line is not as effective because Rob Holding doesn't have the pace to recover. So it looks like Gabriel has to do a lot more. The recovery is more on Gabriel. If you notice, it's Saliba who does more recovering. Gabriel is more step forward. So now the rules, he has to play a slightly different role that he's not as suited to. It's not working as well. And I think Rob Holding is also not as comfortable on the ball. So even in, let's say, a team is attacking you a lot, that comfort on the ball to kind of put your foot on the ball, pass it out from the back and relieve the pressure is difficult for him to do. So those little things, it's just those slight margins that, so you are facing a few more attacks a game and you are not defending them as efficiently. So I think, I'm not saying that Rob Holding is that, but I think Rob Holding to come and play 1 or 2 games in a season, come off the bench when you are leading 2-1 to kind of secure the last 10 minutes, he's fine. But if you are going into a title running and you have to rely on Rob Holding, you are likely not going to win the title. I think everyone knows that's not Rob Holding's level. And it's very unfortunate that Saliba got injured at this crucial moment of the season because he's been amazing. But it's not Rob Holding's fault. We all know Rob Holding's quality. Even when Arsenal were not a title-challenging team, we didn't think Rob Holding was good enough to start for Arsenal. So why is it now that you're challenging for a title, you expect him to be good enough? So it's just a difficult situation. But like I said, their future is in their hands. They win the remainder of their games, they are going to win their title. But seeing the way they've dropped points, they've left in the last 3 games 6 points. They've left 6 points on the table. And the Liverpool game for me was understandable because Liverpool's quality is undeniable on their day.
They were lucky to escape with the point.
But when I look at the West Ham game and this Southampton game, those were two
unacceptable
draws, especially the West Ham game.
I'll come to coach's thoughts, to coach on the thoughts for that one. Let me just take a quick break here on Scorecard. When we come back, we'll digest more of the Arsenal situation. We'll try and see if we can do a mini preview of that game to come on Wednesday against Manchester City, because like I said, it is Arsenal's most important game of the season. There's a lot to come on the show. Stay with us here on Scorecard. Welcome back. This is Scorecard here on Citi TV. Let me just get coach's thoughts on the Arsenal situation, and not even just on the 3-3, but even over the last 3 games. 3 goals considered against Southampton, 2 considered against West Ham, 2 considered against Liverpool.
Yeah. So I've been thinking that if I was the one in charge, what would I do differently? This is what I would have done differently. Point number 1, it is clear that the Holding Gabriel partnership is not working. Do they have somebody who can move in and partner Gabriel?
I don't think they have any.
I think they do. The white man, Ben White,
Yeah.
he's a centre back. He's not a he's not a fullback.
But they don't have any fit
There's
fullbacks.
Tomiyasu.
No, Tomiyasu is hurt.
He's injured.
Now, if Tomiyasu is injured,
Yeah.
and therefore you need to go on with the Holding Gabriel partnership.
Yeah.
Yesterday or on Friday, one of the things that exposed that partnership was the absence of Xhaka, who we're told got ill.
Yeah.
So the choice of the Portuguese boy
Yeah.
was absolutely wrong.
Yeah. He looked like he didn't have
He was completely off.
Yeah, like his level was not up to
Up to
everybody
what
else.
was
He
Why?
didn't appear. He
And you
just came
ask
to run.
yourself, if you're playing against a Southampton team that sat very deep and was always hoping for you to make mistake for them to pounce,
Yeah.
you should have players who are very comfortable on the ball. So what was the need, or why did Arteta choose not to start with Trossard? I think having Partey,
Yeah.
Odegaard, and Trossard would have given Partey more belief
In
in
moving
playing
the
the
ball
ball
forward.
forward. Because it was clear, look, I watched the game again, it was clear that there were times that Partey had to give the ball to Vieira. He was not confident in the player, so he turned and went elsewhere. And the Vieira stayed on for close to 65 minutes. And it became clear that the moment Arsenal had to chase the game due to unforced error, if you are a manager, you need to be very brutal in your substitution. You don't need to hesitate at all. Because every game from now on to the end of the season is like a final for you. Last week, I said that they go to the Etihad on Wednesday having 2 of the 3 possible results to play for.
You have been hammering on this for a long time.
Now is one.
But on Friday, they've made it only 1 out of the 3. They have to go to Etihad and beat Man City.
In fact, if you were to add the 4 points they've dropped,
Yes,
they could have even lost and still won the league.
and still won the league.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I like to look at the coaching aspect of it. I think Mikel Arteta has not been decent. And of course, that look, he waited too long for the Eddie Nketiah change also.
Are these rookie mistakes? Are these things that you expect that? I mean, he was an experienced player. He captained his team. He understudied Guardiola. Should he have learned some of these things?
Look, these are the sort of things that make you
A top manager.
an elite manager. I felt that if you look at tactically what Southampton did in that second half,
Yeah.
they took off the goal scorer
Yeah, Alcaraz.
just at the beginning.
A kind of forward-thinking player
And they
and brought
brought
a centre back.
So there was no need to go only one top again. There was absolutely no. When I was saying, no, come on, if I'm the one, you should react or you should respond to that. So immediately, maybe you will give it for like 10 minutes. Then you tell Eddie Nketiah, come on, man, go partner Gabriel. Because every time Arsenal went forward, the reason why they couldn't put in the crosses, they were forced to go because they were, you see,
In
they were
fact, even when they put in crosses, they put in one very good cross, Martinelli. I don't know if you saw that, and
I saw
Gabriel
that
Jesus.
one.
So it's not even like the crosses didn't work.
Right.
But if they were two targets instead of
in
one,
there,
it would
that
have worked better.
made a lot of difference. Because what the substitution did for Southampton was that it gave them defensive line cover. At times, I could count. Whenever the ball went to Saka, there was one person pressing the ball. Behind that person, there was a defender. Behind that other person. So triple, quadruple defensive line cover. So the best you can do is to draw the defensive cover away from where the ball is, and you need to engage them in the box. Arteta sat there, waited.
They looked better when Trossard came
and they
on.
looked better when Trossard and Nketiah got introduced.
Two guys
into
who
the
know
game.
how to move
Who
properly.
know how to move properly.
And
Who
if
would-
you are speaking about Fabio Vieira, because of how ineffective he was, if you know they've brought in an extra centre back, they've removed the midfielder, you can afford to bring on a forward in Trossard for Vieira because they've become lighter in the midfield.
Exactly.
And they are not interested in dominating the midfield. They've given you the midfield.
They've given it
they
to
are
you.
2-1 up.
They've
They are
put
trying
it
to
at the
defend.
back.
So if you had brought in another forward
Yeah.
kind of who's a bit more effective, can dribble, do something, you might have done something more.
You see, so for me, on Friday, look, I had lots of issues with the coaching. And for me, that was where I think that, look, forget about the mistake.
Yeah.
Ramsdale gave it away in the very first minute. They had 89 minutes
To react.
plus injury time to react. They considered the second goal.
Consider the third.
It went
I think
2-1.
the third was the killer.
Yeah.
The
No,
third was
but
the
even
killer.
that,
There was time.
there was time.
I mean, mentally,
After all-
it's draining to
after
come
all,
back
look,
from
They
goal
did
goes
score the
down.
two.
They
very quickly.
scored 2 in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
For me, the way the game went, the second goal came too late. If you remember, Gabriel Jesus
Yes,
got
it's
that
because-
chance at 3-1. If he had made it 3-2 around the 70th,
They would have had a lot more time.
They probably
to
would
react.
have won the game.
Exactly. But even at that time, Nketiah had not been introduced. That was where I had the issue. So look, on Wednesday, they have their destiny in their hands. My worry is that I think their confidence level
Yeah.
has
It's
dropped.
low.
Did you see them at full time?
They should be going. They should have made this going to the Etihad.
Almost like they felt they had blown it.
But it's not that they felt. They have blown it.
And due to the inexperience of the manager,
Yeah.
see, this should have been a Mourinho sort of team. The opposite, a Pep Guardiola's team going
Yeah.
to the Emirate in the situation where Arsenal finds itself. You understand? What Arteta really needs to do on Wednesday, he needs to calm himself down. Calm down and believe in your backroom staff. If you have to stand on the touchline and micromanage, you do that. But when it comes to impacting the tactics or getting the correct substitution, trust your video analysts, trust your assistant coaches, give them total responsibility to analyze what is going on. Because you cannot be micromanaging and seeing all you need to do and affect the tactics at the same time. So they've made life extremely difficult for themselves. They are the only people who can go onto the pitch there and change their destiny. Do I think they will do so? It's at 80-20%. The 20% in football,
It means that they have it in them.
yes, they are very capable.
Me, I always say,
Because, you see, anytime they've played Man City under Arteta, City have not completely dominated them.
yeah.
I've saw them play, at least in the past.
They've lost
two-
1-0,
the
I
last
think.
game they
Yeah,
played.
even the
they
last
missed
They
game
a
they
lot
lost
of-
lost
1-0 in
two.
that game, right?
No, 2-1.
And they missed a
Yeah.
lot of chances.
They missed a lot of chances. So they need to go there believing they
That
can,
they can
take
win
the
that
one.
game.
Xhaka will be back. His experience will be needed. Look, on the Partey issue, I didn't think Partey had a bad game. No. Because if you look at the goals they conceded, on which of them are you going to blame him for? I think those flanking him, the manager had the wrong players around him. So he was always comfortable giving the ball to Odegaard and not giving the ball to Vieira.
Making Odegaard easier to mark out.
Easier
making
to
it-
mark out.
Yep.
But if Xhaka was there, or if that had been Trossard, come and take. Because you see, because of holding to, if you watch Partey, he's not bumping forward like he would have done
Trying to play
occasionally.
it safe most of the time.
And then let me just say this: there were moments in that game where I felt that on the build-up, the centre back Magarash should have joined the attack on the blind side of Southampton. That would have been given, that instruction should have come from the coaches. That look, now on, when we build, Magalhaes will be arriving.
And he's actually good doing that kind of stuff.
No,
Unlike
they don't
his
expect
defensive
him to be
duties.
there.
Yeah.
The game got to the stage where they should have been
Sending in an
bold
extra
enough
one.
But I think
risk it.
no one wants to leave Rob Holding alone at the back.
No, but that's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
that's
You
the
see,
fear.
maybe at the end of the day,
Yeah.
anytime he goes, you see, look, you tell Ben White to push in a little bit so that he will support Holding. And Holding instructions should be basic. Don't complicate issues. When it comes, let it go. So you see, look, I watched Sir Alex Ferguson. There were moments where he threw Vidic up front.
Let's wrap it.
I watched Jose Mourinho. There were moments where he threw John Terry up front. Just to make sure that there was that extra.
Extra numbers up front.